Gúmọ̀lúpọ̀, gúmọ̀lúpọ̀ mọ̀lọ́mọ́. Ayọ̀mọ̀sí, ayọ̀mọ̀sí, ayọ̀mọ̀sí òbúye o, ayọ̀mọ̀sí o, ayọ̀mọ̀sí o, ayọ̀mọ̀sí òbúye.
Ayọ̀mọ̀sí o, ayọ̀mọ̀sí òbúye.
Ayọ̀mọ̀sí o, ayọ̀mọ̀sí òbúye.
Ayọ̀mọ̀sí,
Hello, welcome to the John Mayaki Show. I am Epe Joseph. On the John Mayaki Show today, we have as our guest a media practitioner, wherein he was a composer, a presenter, a musician, a community leader. In the sub-Saharan Africa today, in Nigeria and in Edo State, you cannot talk about high life presentation without talking about Peter Imona Omoaka. Sir, you are welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much for
It's
the
a privilege
compliment.
to have you on the John Mayaki Show today.
It's also a privilege for me to be here and to talk to people that will listen to our talk.
Sir, your journey into the media world, into the broadcasting world, how did it start?
It was in 1981, early 1981, when the then PRO to Edo Broadcasting Service, or Radio Bender then, talking about the late Martin Ekbe, wanted me to come and be a part of the broadcast system. But I told him I was just back from the school, Ibadan School of Ibadan Polytechnic School of Music, and he saw my certificate, grade 5 then. I said, well, since you are not continuing, why don't you come and join us? I resisted, but he insisted, and after some pressures, I was there at the Edo Broadcasting Service, or then Radio Bender. I think that is one I should be talking about. So I came in as a program staff. That was how the whole thing started in 1981, March. Yep.
Okay. Sir, something prepared you to carve a niche for yourself in the presentation of high life. What is that thing?
Well, there was my course at the Radio Nigeria Lagos, where I was hearing the high life presentation by Idonije, and I was moved, but I didn't have the intention of doing it.
Okay.
So when we finished, I came back to Benin, and fortunately, one Ohi Alegbe, who was in presentation of Radio Bender then, saw the way I was compiling high life music, the way I was linking them. So he advocated and told his boss in presentation that this man will be good in presenting high life music. He doesn't need you speaking big English or coining your words, but tell the people about the music, knowing too that I was into music. So they made me to present it at the then Radio Nigeria that was handed over then by NPN to Radio Bender. And there was a lot of time to be spent, and we're looking for programs. So they created it with Uhi Alegbe encouraging me. I started it. I tell you, my brother, it was not easy me presenting. Though I was presenting musical, religious music then, but to present a live program on radio, it was not easy, because then Bankole Abalogo will watch what you are saying and how you are saying it. Any mistake, they bring you to presentation meeting to query, why did you do this? Why? So that fear was in me. But again, when Ohi Alegbe encouraged me, I was carried away, and after 2 months, I was surprised the night Bankole Balogu, the then general manager, came to the studio late in the evening to say, I want to see, are you sure this quiet man that I see is the one that is presenting this program? That was why he left GRA to come to Aduawa that night. So he said, I'm satisfied. I'm not sure that you are the one doing it. That encouraged me. After then, it was, oh, let me impress these people. Let me do this, let me do that, so that the program will be on. That was about 1984 or thereabout. So since then, the program has been on till today, even when I'm retired.
Okay, the present day selection and presentation of music, and especially the high life, what do you think should be done differently?
Well, it will take time these days to convince the youths, the ones, the boys and girls of nowadays, to do the high life music. So some of them are interested. When I'm presenting, I get calls from different youth, boys and girls, who are interested. But what I think we lack is that courage. Because before I went to Vibes, what they told me is that they wanted somebody, they wanted somebody who can speak American English to present. If you listen to what they do now, you fake the language to talk. I cannot do that. So the first arrangement failed because I told them I cannot speak that American language to present high life music. But these days, they now listen, they now know what it is. But that is why I'm there, to see how we can move the youth to like high life music, to present it. And I tell you, in Vibes, there are young boys who want to present the program now. In EBS, there's the boy there who took over from me, though let me not go into that, also want to present. He loves to present high life music. And with that, I'm sure that with time, high life music will remain in this world, even when we are gone. Because what we want to do is to, why I'm go there, even without pay, is to make sure that this music, which is African in nature, must not die. We have to promote it. It is our own. But I tell you, if you listen to some of these white men now, they like to play high life music. Maybe you have seen videos where you see a white man playing, mimicking our own music, playing the real high life music. Then why will these young ones not want to do it? And I begin to fear that if they don't do it, the white man will take it, play it back to us, and we'll begin to like it. So we that are alive now, we have to uphold that music till the young ones get into it fully and promote it. Let the white man or the people on the other side know that we have the best kind of music. Yes.
Sir, you talked about the driving force.
Yeah.
And it was this force, from what we gathered, was this force that pushed you into composing the popular song Ayomosi, and the other one Ogogoro no the Sahara.
Yeah.
How did this come about?
You see, there are people who want to be into one field, but for one reason or the other, they cannot make it. I'm one of those. From youth, I had loved to be a musician, but my family background, my setup, will not allow me into it. So when I came into broadcasting and I saw that there was room for me to do that, of course, like I said, I tried to go through the background by going to Ibadan Poly to read to read music. And that was not actually what I wanted. So when I got to grade 5, I left. But you see, I was always wanting to be a musician, and I still want to be, but I have seen that there are things, like I said, that will always hold you back if you are not going to be. While I was at the Edo broadcast or radio band, there was this opportunity for me to sing, to go to the studio. I fell into some hands. I would go to this musician because my programs were musical, all of them. So I was opportune to meet with some people. And when I see them play, when I see them talk, I say, I wish I could be like this. So one man, Kimayo, encouraged me, and he had a studio. I told me, if you do this, you do that, you can still do it. I said, how possible? He was the one who actually propelled me into going to Supreme, and Supreme signed me on. And I was thinking, how do I actually do it? I went, composed songs. I would go to the studio. Kimayo will say, yeah, this one is good, this one is not good. We were eliminating. And we had already booked studio to go to Lagos and record the ones that I had. There was one particular music which I sang in English, which I love, but Kimayo never loved that music. He was telling me, you can't make it with this. Go and get ready. So I went. I remembered the story of Ayomosi. There was a link that clicked into my brain. So I started working on it. He gave me time. You must do it before this time. When you are coming next time, make sure you come with a different song. And we booked a date again. And when I was putting this music together, if I'm sleeping, I will. Sometimes you forget the beginning. Yeah. But these days, when I saw it was getting close and I needed something, I didn't know that Ayomosi honestly was going to be something. When I'll be going to work, I've already recorded the other one in demo. I'll be going to work, I will be singing it. Oh, how did I start it that time? What do I put? I've already written it down. I will just forget. One day I was almost knocked up crossing the road because the idea just came to me. I was putting it the way it will be. So when I now saw that it was completed, I went to Kimayo. We put it on demo. And he gave me the impression, as we were there preparing it, I saw them, they were doing their hands like this. I said, yes, this one is the type they love. When I came out, I said, you have this one and you have been singing Eba. That was the language he used. He said, this is good. And that is how they encouraged me. We went to Lagos with Supreme, not too sure that I was going to make it. But at the end, when people like Benji Igbadume, who he played it to, told him that this music is going to change the face of Fesako music, he came to my office and said, oh boy, that your music, after about 4 months of not thinking about it, after recording, he said, I'm not going to print it. I said, because of what Benji said. I said, is that so? Yes. He did. And even when he gave it to me, when I went with him to his village for his sister's marriage, he didn't tell me he has done it. But when I was about to leave, he gave me an album because I was always helping him to play. He said, this one specially is for you. When you get home, play it. I didn't know what it was because there was no label on it. When I got home, it was my voice. Fine music. I said, okay. My wife said, is that not your voice? I said, yes, it is. But he didn't tell me that it is my music. I said, Supreme just gave it to me. I thought I was going to play it. Then when I get to station, I just look for the one I'm going to play. I didn't know it was my own. So when I got to the station, I gave it to one Jedafe. Jedafe said, you sure you are the one who played this one? People were calling him. They were talking to him. It's our man who did it. From then, the thing came up. And people were asking, where is this music? Who did it? That was how Ayomosi came up. Yeah.
How far as the music, since you are retired now, How far have you gone into the music full time?
That is, you remember when I told you that there are people who are destined to be somewhere and people who are, right now, it is not easy with the kind of equipment that we have now for one to go into music. You can see now even the musicians, live music is dying because of the kind of equipment that we have. They just sing now, anybody can get up, sing anything. They take it to radio and they begin to sing, they begin to play it. It was not done in my time. You have to vet the record whether it is airworthy before they play. There was one particular music I heard on radio station yesterday in Benin. I was wondering if the person who was playing it has any sense of music, that you will be playing this kind of music for people to hear. It was not done. They will give you the query and even suspension for playing that kind of music on air. But now things have changed. We have so many radio stations. So if you are not playing, nobody, people will begin to say the station is not there. So they play anything that comes.
Just to cut in, how were presenters and producers molded that time?
Oh, serious molding. If you are not the type that is going to move the station, you cannot present program. And like I told you from the beginning, when they asked me to present program with this high life music, I was having kind of inferiority, if kind of fear. What would people say when they hear me present program? How would they react? Because you have to be well groomed before you can be there. When we came for the interview, they gave us auditioning. They auditioned. They know this man will be good in presentation. This one will be good in programs. This one will be good in other areas. That is how it was. Not now somebody comes, they just put the person on air, go and talk. You begin to call in the morning. You wake people up and you don't even know what they are saying. The first thing you hear is telephone conversation. Well, it is the in thing, so one cannot say they are not doing their own. They have their own time now. It is not what it was then. You have to be groomed. In fact, before you go on air, you say you want to talk. You will know that you are actually prepared. You cannot read news. You could just come from outside. It's 30 minutes. You are not there. You will read news in 30 minutes time. It was not done. You will not read that news. Another person will take it, because you need to know every detail. So anything you're going to pronounce will be known, will be sound. But now somebody just come, like sometimes I go to some of the stations, somebody who is going to be and going to announce will not be there in the next, when it is, in fact, the program will be on, somebody will not be there to take over from the other one. What kind of, it was not done. So I don't know, because I cannot change it because it's their time. Yeah. But radio, there are so many things to learn from it. So you need to put people that are good to be there. Right? Even now, you cannot give me a piece of news to read. I will tell you I cannot do it because I won't want to fool myself. So, but now anybody just come, reads anything, and it is done. Well, it is their time. It is the modern time, and so this is how they know how it is.
Yeah, the works of Sally Young, the works of Jim Rex Lossy, the works of Sadebe and Olaya. They're coming home, you see that of Sir Victor Wifo, that of Majek Fashek, that of King Beji Igbadume, like you rightly mentioned, that of Waziri and Bolivia himself. It friends you going into music, and those people music made meaningful impacts on the lives of Nigeria because of their didactic background in music. Now, how do you see these people comparing what they sang as at that point in time and the kind of music we hear on the airwaves now?
Then I will ask you, now if you see the way their music is now, you listen to the music, You will hear every bit of how music is supposed to be. The arrangement, the voice rendition, the instrumentation, every sound comes up. You can't play what you are not told to play in any music. That is why even today, if you play Bolivia's music, who is my mentor, you play Victor Wyfo's music, you hear the note. That is why Victor Wyfo was saying it when he was alive, that music has its colors. You cannot just, the colors, you cannot just mix them together. So you have to make sure that what you are playing is different. If you listen to their music, even in the next 100 years, the sound will still be there. But tell me, among the people that are playing music now, how good their music, how it will last. It will be, as at now, you hear, what do you call it, the one they play now that people are dancing to, Olololo, Buga on. Give him 3 years and listen and see whether that music will still be valid. But play music that was done by Cardinal Jim Lawson, who died in 1971, whether the sound will not still be valid. If you listen to Bolivia's music, the sound at any time will still be valid. So because of the way the music is arranged, again, I will not blame these people, because like I said, the studios have changed everything. Now anybody comes, just a set of piano, you get all the instruments there. And I read once what I still have in mind, that they will blame Japan for the loss of good music in the world. Japan, and I now had what are they calling them? It's not Indian. The other ones, China. They make these things inside the music, and you play it. The sound to me, sometimes some will be sounded like you are hitting bottles. They put them together and say you have played music. And because they have made it so simple, anybody can go to any studio, even at home, put something in CD, give to them in the radio station and play. As long as you are talking, it's music. Music has its own definition. But what I hear these days, I don't know, because it is, I'm happy I was born in the days when music was played from the head. That's what I always say. The music they play these days, you just go there, put things together, because these young ones do not have that access to what it was in those days. They begin to accept it as they are hearing good music. To me, some of them will not last 3 months before they fade out. Now you remember African woman, what is it by Two-Face? Is it African woman?
Yeah.
African Queen. African Queen, if you hear it today, though it's no longer the way music, you still know that music was played by somebody who knows music. So these days you just play anything, put the organ together. There was a time I wanted to replay, which they play now, where I wanted to replay Ayomos. I went to one studio. We played it. I said, let me bring the chorus. They said, no, don't worry about that. They put the thing together in the modern form. They call it Ayomos Remix. They put it together. I said, when the chorus people came, I was not there. They put it together, the people, the girls. I only hear the girls and boys just sing Ayomos Yobuye. I was not there. That is how they did this. They bastardized music. And so there was nothing I could do. Then when I finished, somebody was to put the Igbo translation, took the master to his studio and added Igbo. I was not there. But when you listen to it, you will like it. When you go to some parties, they say they want to play. Would you see the young boys? Once they put it, Ayomosi remix, you see people dancing. It's different from the original Ayomosi. That you have to be in the studio. Everyone is. If you make mistake, you go back, and you know your booking was for a time. If you are not there, you within that period you leave. But these days, anyone comes, you put the thing together in your house. As you are hearing it, you add another thing, you add another one, you put it out, you have played music. But how long will this one last? That is what I always say. Sure.
The music has gone to this Buga thing. That is what the in thing now. What do you think the government, the studio managers, and the general public should do differently so that we can get full meaning of music? Because music, they say, is life. I don't think we're getting life in music anymore.
Oh, good.
Do you think there is something we should do differently?
You are talking of government. Government cannot do everything. I don't see how government can now go into studio and music production.
We're looking at the government stations.
Government radio stations or television stations. What they can do is actually like what we were doing. One of the questions you asked me is to regulate the kind of music that is being played. They can regulate it. If you don't play any music that comes to your mind, that because somebody has given you something, you just want to play it. You play music that will attract people, that have meaning, something that will make people get good things for years. Well, that was how it was in those days. You cannot, like I said, you cannot play any music that you like. It has to have some content. It has to, like in those days, they have to give you, when you are compiling, they will check your P2 form, what you use in writing all the music. It will be 60% African music and 40% foreign music. No matter how you like the music, in those days you cannot play it. They will see it. Of course, that time, that P2 form, that one they write something on, was to help to pay. Because if you play somebody's music then, the radio station was bound to pay for that airtime.
Right.
Which is, that is why all these things are no longer, don't know. If you were to be paying, would you go and pay to that kind of person that is doing all those kind of music they are playing these days? You pay him for what? For disturbing the people's ear? But I think we should get ourselves reoriented on this issue of the kind of music that comes on air. That is the only thing. When the stations now take it upon themselves and say, look, don't play any music that is not vetted. They have to vet it to know whether it's airworthy. NBC then will tell you these are the kind of music you play. And I remembered they had to recall me. I was on holidays in Togo. They had to recall me because they said NBC wrote that I played Kerewa. I played it and explained why I played it, because it has some sense and it has certain things that will make the society change. But I had even explained it. Of course, that was why they gave me a little rebate. The ABS, they still had to pay money, because they said it was NTBB, not to be broadcast, not fit to be broadcast. But I didn't see that. I played it with the intention of correcting, playing it to correct the society, the ease of the society. They had to recall me. I was in Togo. I came back. I was given a query for playing that music. But where will that happen now? I don't know. Because MBC2 is supposed to check the kind of music they play. The only thing they tell me now, oh, you don't play anything that mentions Ashawo. What has, when you mentioned it, that is where I am now. Why? What is? There are some pieces of music that when you play, they help to correct the ears of the society. Not just because you said Ashawo, then you say that it is NTBB. It should not be played. No, there are other things that the person is saying that he wants to talk about. Is that the only correction that you have to make? Whereas you are still doing it, it is all over, it is everywhere. It's even getting worse. So when you are playing it, it will correct the ears of the society to tell them, because the musician playing all those things, they have reasons why they composed it. That when you hear it, it will make you have sense. Remember when I played Ayamosi, a man came to Benin to give me money and say, look, I don't know you. I'll be looking for you. My daughters now stay at home. You see, when I want them to stay at home, they don't. You see, when they want to dress now, they want to go, I play that music. And when I play it, they know why I'm playing it. They will go back and sit down at home. That I should not come to Onward was Waraka area or so. That they will, if his daughter sees me, they will not like me. But take this money because you have helped me to do something. Music is meaningful. Music teaches. But people just go now because of the instruments we have, like I think, they just go and play anything. And if you were to pay, all these people doing it, were to pay, book a studio to go and play, will you pay money to go and do this kind of thing in a studio? For people to hear this nonsense people here nowadays? We still have some good musicians anyway. Like the man we talk about, Buga. Anywhere you go, you know that there is something in it. But I still ask, how long will that music last?
Sir, before we call it a day, we will not let you go without you rendering that popular Ayamosi live and direct on air. We want you to have it here and now.
Yeah. Okay, but I will do it. But that is one thing I always quarrel with some people who interview musicians. Why would you want me to sing it without the instrument? Okay, I do it. There's no problem because it is the in thing. I know that it is what we know. Anytime you go, we say, this musician, we sing this thing. Okay, Ayomosio, buye. Ayomosio, buye. Ayomosio, buye. Ayomosio, buye. Ayomosi, objekilo omolupo. Ayomosio, objekilo omolomo. Gumolomo, omolupo. Ayomosi, gumolupo molomo. Abogore kwa. Era wagwenu le kya Ayomosi. Abogore kwa ne. Iya wagwenu le ye. Onole kya. Lora mele togode. Onole ye. Lora mele tegbede. Ogode ne. Uvye ku molupo. Ogode ne. Uvye ku molomo. Gumolomo. Molupo Ayomosi. Gumolupo molomo. Ayomosi obuye Ayomosi obuye. Ayomosi obuye Ayomosi obuye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us on the show today.
Thank you.
Your final words, sir.
Number one, I want to thank you for coming to me to ask my opinion about all these things we have talked about. I want to say that we, the Africans, should promote what belongs to us, especially music, because that is my field. Let us promote our kind of music. Let us not leave it to the time the white man will play high life music and bring it back to us as we have the petrol that we are having these days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's nice having you today.
Nice having you too.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.